Hello, everyone. Happy Monday morning. It is already February 5th, you can believe it or not. And today we have some very exciting content to talk about. We are talking about our future of games. What is the future of games? Well, it's ours to write. And today we're talking about Web3. And it's titled WTF is Web3 because that is actually what I Googled to find out what the heck was going on with this whole Web3 thing. And that's actually how I ended up connecting with Davide, who we're going to meet here in a second. We're also joined by the one and only Justin Williams. Let's just go ahead and kick this thing right off and we're going to get started. Davide, welcome to the party. Justin Williams, always a pleasure to see you.
Good
Hey, good morning,
morning.
guys. Happy to be here.
Likewise. Thank you, John.
Woot woot. So for everyone who is joining now, we are going to be raffling off a bunch of domains. So very, very exciting. Thanks to our friends at freename.io. This is the leader in creating and providing you with access to Web3 domains. Their premium .gaming domains, which is, of course, what we're talking about here today, is what we're going to be raffling off. 10 of those. More on that here in a second. We're going to be doing some on-screen spinning of a wheel, making it kind of fun and of course, super nerdy. As we go, please, questions in chat. Look, Ali Farha, first, thank you for bringing the old school YouTube energy, Ali. That is the way to go. Always appreciate it. Anil, welcome. Thank you for being here, Anil. So, guys, let's just dive in. We'll one thing to mention as we go, we're just going to talk about our favorite games here in a second, what we're seeing in the industry as we kind of get rolling and warmed up. As we go, I'll sometimes feature comments on screen. Like, for example, Ollie here, there he is, just commenting first. Or Anil here is mentioning right there, let's go. Not to interrupt anybody, but just to sort of complement and supplement the conversation, just to say that out loud. All right. And here we have Gary. Greetings, John, Davide, Justin, everyone on the call. Looking forward to hearing your perspectives. Chance TLD, TLD. Davide, why don't we get started? What is TLD? Since we're going like super basic, what is Web3? What is a TLD?
Absolutely. So we all know google.com, right? And if we take that URL, google.com, what we say domain, it's the combination of two things, a SLD and a TLD. What do this stands for? Second level domain, which is Google, and top level domain, which is .com. It's like a road. So the principal road on which Google wants to be referred as a main website is the .com road. Then we have .io, .xyz, and in Web3 we can create many TLD. So top level domains and second level domains. The both together is a domain or the URL that we know.
Awesome. And there's a reason why we asked that to Davide, and that takes us right into our introductions. Davide is the founder of Freename.io, I believe co-founder, and is joining us here today to talk about Web3, to help us understand more about this as the sort of leader in that space. And then we have Justin Williams as well, which is probably one of the main reasons why a lot of people are here. So we'll introduce Davide first, and then Justin, let's learn about you. But Davide, tell us about yourself, please.
Absolutely. So you find me sitting in Switzerland. So I say good morning to all the other side of the globe and good afternoon to my side of the globe. Freename is a leading platform in multi-chain domains, meaning Web3 domains, TLD and SLD. So you can create your own version for your own community or buy domains on existing TLD to empower your wallet, to empower your browsing experience. We are based in Switzerland, live since 2022, and building infrastructure for internet-based in Web3. Then we will discover, I guess, what is Web3. I don't want to steal much of your time. I think during this call we will discover more and more, so I leave the mic to Justin.
Oh, cool. Hey, appreciate the introduction. Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Thank you, John and Davide, for having me on the show here. I will play devil's advocate. I am a true gamer, so I am not too much into the the domains and stuff like that. So I will play that person, like talk to me like a 4-year-old child. As far as my NFT experience, it is just like Fortnite skins. that's my NFT experience. And then of course I got crypto, but I think everyone has crypto, but as far as I'm not the expert here like John and Davide. So I'm excited to learn. This is, brand new for me. So I'm here with everyone else who's learning and who wants to do it. I think John just said gaming, and I said, okay, I'm down. That's all he had to say was gaming. And I was like, I'm down. And then he was like, domains and da, da, da. And I was like, oh, okay, you lost me. But happy to be here, everyone. So,
well, see, that's so great, Justin, because that's where statistically, most of our audience probably is. Most people are here probably out of curiosity to say, what is WTF is Web3. So here's the thing. Everybody in the audience, we're going to be doing some raffles, giving away some domains, but please ask all kinds of questions. We have a bunch that we've got from comments. We'll be talking about those with Davide. I also want to touch on me being an expert in anything is probably not true. Certainly not true about Web3. So I'll be learning right along with you with a lot of this stuff, Justin. There's so much of it that's changing. Just like with AI right now, every time you turn around, whatever you knew a week ago is almost obsolete. And so this is an attempt for all of us to sort of like get a little bit more caught up with everything happening in Web3 games, which is actually some really exciting stuff. But before we get rolling, I also wanted to quickly feature for anybody who is in the audience who happens to have discovered this call through any of the jobs resources, or if you are currently looking for work in games, on screen you will see a scannable QR code that will take you directly to Amir Satfat's Amir's Games Jobs Resources. So go ahead and scan that. That'll take you to free mentoring, free resume review, free LinkedIn review, free interview practice, free lots of stuff. Literally all you need to go from wherever you are to a career in games, whether you're getting back into it, staying in it, or getting into it for the first time. Second resource to share is Jordan Mazur's A16Z Game Talent Network sign up. So wherever you are in your journey, whether you are, again, from the outside, inside, you're a founder, whatever, this is a really great place to sign up. This also connects you to Speedrun, which is A16Z's Games Fund 1. That's their sort of incubator. I'm sure somebody could probably correct me on the way I'm using that term, but of sorts. And that's it. 2 resources to make sure that in this recording are up on screen so people can pause it and quickly scan those. So let's talk about games. Let's get to talk about some nerd stuff, and then let's give away some domains. But Justin, I know that you're more of the gamer than Davide, and I sit in between probably the two of you on this spectrum. What are you excited about in games right now? Like, what pumps you up?
Oh man, I love that question because it's always changing, and I actually have an answer for that. So as everyone knows, I'm a huge RPG fan. So we're playing games, Final Fantasy, grew up Final Fantasy, anything JRPGs. Just finished Final Fantasy 16. Great game, beautiful game. And I am currently waiting for Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. But so I do have some time to play, right? And so I love tactic games as well. So like Final Fantasy Tactics, turn-based games. So there's 2 games on the horizon that I'm really looking forward to besides Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. The first one is Yakuza Infinite Wealth, which is Yakuza launched in 2022 with the turn-based. It was a fighting game. Everyone who knows Yakuza, it was a fighting game, but it's turn-based, so it's like an RPG. So think of the Japanese mob turn-based game. The reviews were outstanding. So the game Infinite Wealth just came out January, last month, and 10s across the board, 5s across the board, crazy sick. Animation and style. So I'm really excited to check that out. So hopefully no one will spoil it for me. And then there is a unicorn game. I forgot the name. See if I can find it here. But there's a unicorn game which is just like Final Fantasy Tactics that I'm super looking forward to. And for anyone knows, Final Fantasy Tactics is a beautiful Final Fantasy spin on like a tactics chess RPG type of game. And so that one is called Unicorn Overlord. So March 8th, Unicorn Overlord. And I of course saw these games on Summer Games and Winter Games. As you guys know, those are the Game Awards. Jeff Knightley, that's your buddy over there, John, hosting those type of events, which is really picking up. Besides E3 days, where I remember E3 days reading about E3 in the magazine, and now I get to watch all these games live, which is amazing. I was just talking about that with someone. It was just like, wow, Jeff is really doing great things with this community where you can only find out about these games by going to E3 in person and then reading about it in electronics, the electronics magazine or Nintendo Power the very next day, or not the next day, but the next week, right, when it gets launched. So I saw those two games. I'm very excited about those games. Do you know about those games, John? I mean, you're kind of looking at me weird.
Yeah. No. That's Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Final Fantasy VII was super formative for me. I think anybody who was playing back then, remember it was a black disc. It was super, super rare, hard to get at first, really hard to get. And to this day, if you've got an unopened one of those things, those will go at auction.
Yeah, if you got the unopened one, it's about 150,000.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
Quick Lambo, no big deal. Yeah,
Super Mario 3 was like $1 million unopened.
Wow.
Yeah. I really am kicking myself because I'm like, I actually own stock in the Super Mario 3 game. Believe it or not. So the one that just sold for $1 million, you can do, so it's kind of like NFTs, right? It's kind of like Web3.
Perfect segue.
Where you do you own stock for a collectible valuable, and I actually own stock for that Super Mario 3 game, which is crazy. But I'm kicking myself because like, man, I remember that Legend of Zelda gold game, remember, and all these cool games. Man, if I just saved them, and get it graded by Weta, man, I'd be like, sitting on millions right now.
If only. No, all those games sound amazing, and especially the turn-based stuff. Like Fire Emblem Engage really kind of took me by surprise, I have to say. I was really pleasantly surprised with that one. Hadn't really played much of the Fire Emblem series prior to that, but really, really blown away. The quality, the story was actually really, really engaging, which I wasn't. I was there for the action. I wasn't even there for the story. It was phenomenal. Davide, I know that you're not necessarily the biggest gamer in the world. I'm just going to open up the question so that we can be fair to everybody before we do our first raffle. Are there any games that you have historically played that you really enjoyed, or maybe even that you're excited about on the horizon?
Absolutely. I think me and you, we talked last time about Final Fantasy, the 7 and the 8, which really I appreciated while growing up playing. I like the atmosphere, the music, all the mystical atmosphere, and the script of the game. It was very complex, very well written, and so if there is the 7 Rebirth, looking forward for it, of course. And if this contains Web3 in it, even more, who knows? Perhaps another version of it. But I think that, as you said, like this piece of games that now are worth 150K, 1 million, are collectibles, are the same concept as NFT because it's limited piece. So this is why they have a value. And it's really beautiful to hear this from you and to see Web3 getting closer as approach from the gaming community. So really happy to talk about this further.
So there's our common ground. J-Dubs, you got your fellow Final Fantasy fan here.
I was going to say, and then of course, Square Enix, they went all in, right? They just announced that they're going all in on NFTs, which is game changer. So, I know there's mixed topics. There's mixed reviews on that, but I'm definitely excited. I think John and I discussed about UGC, which is user generated content, which is blowing away right now retail sales. Because of their games within the games, like the Roblox community, Fortnite community, right? The Fortnite community, I think, blew everyone away. Where you have a fighting game or an FPS game, right? You have an FPS game, a first-person shooter, and then you can say, hey, you can build your own game within our game. Use our graphics, use our assets. If you create a game, you can get money off of that. And then so people are making, I've seen some crazy ones. I've seen them make it like World of Warcraft style, where they do a raid boss. There's like 50 FPS Fortnite sprites walking around, and they were doing like a raid boss, and then that game is selling like hotcakes. That game, last I heard, it was like making $1 million a month, and I'm like, what is going on here? It's like, wow. And then of course, Epic gets their profit, but it's still amazing that you can make a game within the game. And UGC is just, you heard it everywhere, where content creators are going to be the number one to look out for. Not necessarily gaming companies, not necessarily technology, not necessarily AI, but content creators. And whether you do that through NFTs, whether you do that through UGC, which is user generated content, that's something we're going to look out for. I mean, I don't know much about the web3 domain, but I do know about the limited piece, like you said, Davide, and then also staying ahead of the technology. So I think that's going to be exciting to look out for.
It's a brave new world, and I think that a question I get asked a lot is, I'm very excited to share. I have a 1-year-old daughter who just turned 1 a couple of days ago, and it's our first little baby. And a question I get asked a lot that I love answering is, how do you feel about her playing games? Essentially, there's addiction to talk about. There's implications for how we socialize to talk about. I don't think it does our community any good to hide from those topics, because they are real. It is I've probably categorically, I would say I've struggled with over dependence upon games at times, as we all have with almost everything, right? We can have disordered consumption of almost anything in our lives. When you've got something that is literally designed to be a dopamine cyclone in your brain, these things can happen. And so moderation in all things, right? But I think, Justin, to your point about a world where this little 1-year-old brain that I'm so excited to see learning and evolving and changing every day, I could see it creating its own economy. I could see her creating her job one day in a UGC environment. And that's exciting to me. That's inspiring. That's a world where AI has unlocked so much, not only access to tools, but also time for us to create, that I'm super pumped to live and play in that world with her, honestly, because we get to be there too. But anyway, off my parent soapbox rant, let's give away some domains. Davide, what do you think? Should we give away some domains?
We should. I wanted to remark something that Justin said, and you said as well. All of these economies, which are user-generated economies, the use of Web3 technology, so blockchain technology, it's really important, because you can encapsulate everything into your own controlled name or your own NFTs. And this is how you can make a proof that it's yours and that will stick with you. And then you can transfer, then you can create your own tokens inside your own created something, whether it's content created for NFTs or environment for gaming, and you want to reward a game or something. So the more we speak, the more also I find all of the points together in which you can use Web3 technology with gaming more and more and more. But yes, John, let's jump into the raffle.
That is the perfect, I think right after this raffle, let's just jump in. We've got some great questions, including explain Web3 to me like I'm 5. Great foundation for us to start on, but let's do some raffles. We've got Chris from Free Name in the audience right here, who's ready to support what we're about to do. But if you would like to participate in our raffle today, we're going to be giving away up to 10 of these domains. These are valued anywhere from $15 all the way up through north of $2,000, which is really exciting. And if you'd like to be somebody that wins one, in chat, just say Final Fantasy, and I will put your name directly onto the Wheel of Winners. That's right, not just the wheel, but the Wheel of Winners. Just say Final Fantasy over the course of the next 5 minutes, and then we're going to do our first raffle. If you win, you get your name at free name or at gaming. You get, so for example, Gary.gaming. You would get that gifted to you by the free name team, which is incredibly generous. So thank you, you guys. Okay.
Yeah,
we've got
I wanted to touch base real quick while people are doing that there, John. While people are putting in their comments. So economy. I want to touch base on economy. So how important the economy is, in regards to what is the number one, when you think of economy in like their own economy, which is UGC, NFTs, what brand comes to mind? Apple has their own economy, and that is why they're a $1 trillion company. And that is how they became into that $1 trillion category, is because everything is within in-house. And talking about the NFTs, talking about your own, owning your own stuff here, that is essentially what Fortnite and Roblox is striving for, right? They're allowing users to pretty much own and control their own destiny. And it's exciting to see how, whether you're giving these assets, or whether you're giving a push, or in seeing this creativity, but within that circle of economy, that's how they're really pushing innovation and being lucrative these days. So that word is spot on. I think you said, Davide, is economy is just spot on.
Thank you very much. And now we can say decentralized or sharing economy. Because, okay, Apple, it is the best example that comes to mind, but communities are decentralized, are sharing economy. And so this relies even more to what you said. 100% agree.
Quick note, the first person to respond, Final Fantasy, thank you, everybody. You'll see your names on screen. The first person to respond is showing up as just anonymous LinkedIn user. If you are that person, please just comment again and then add your name, please, so I can add you to the list. Once that's there, we're going to start spinning. Quick 30-second blip to give a little bit of time to make sure we're fair to everybody who put their names in. Yeah, the sharing economy, David, I love, we're hearing that so much more and more, right? The sharing economy, I think that term really started to come around with the Uberization of a lot of things. Airbnb, you're sharing your home. Fiverr, other sort of gig economy, you're sharing sort of incremental work, sort of freelancing. And so now we're even getting into where I believe my very favorite application of Web3 games is this idea of item rentals, right? When everything has a blockchain minted ID on it, we could, Justin could be out here and he could be crushing that raid in World of Warcraft. Then the epic item drops, the legendary axe red, right, drops. And now he could rent that out foreseeably. Not that technology does, just to be clear, that technology does not exist yet anywhere other than you're starting to see some games that have like some application of this, like Axie Infinity actually kind of does this. But anyway, okay, we've got Anel. Okay, it was Anel. Thank you, Anel. Anel Sagdadi. Okay, let's go ahead and spin for our first two winners, shall we? Big money. Big money. Well. Mr. Sands, congratulations. There we go.
Was that Double Dragon? What was that? What was that theme song?
This is AI generated generic 8-bit music.
Okay,
So,
that sounded like I was going to like Double Dragon Stage 2 or something.
Heavily influenced by Double Dragon. It probably is. That was the model.
Streets of Rage, back then.
Oh yeah, that's them side scrollers. Altered Beast. Gary, congratulations. Way to go. You're welcome. Well, who'd have thought someone named Chance won a game of Chance? There you go. Gary and Chance, you're going to have Chris from the Free Name team messaging you on LinkedIn to coordinate your brand new .gaming domains being transferred to your wallet. You do need to have your freename.io account set up, and then he'll take you through from there. We're going to keep adding to this as we go. So keep commenting Final Fantasy, y'all. If you're not already on this list, I'll add you as we go. And I'll minimize this so that we're not eating up the whole screen. But Davide, everybody, please comment Final Fantasy if you'd like to be part of the next raffle, which will happen in 5 minutes. Davide, can you explain Web3 to us like we're 5 years old?
Let me say, so Web3 relies on the blockchain technology. Now, it's all the user interactions, all of the infrastructure. I'm using words that a 3 years old cannot, but all of the infrastructure of internet, as we know, based with blockchain. So gaming, website, domains, everything that relies on a blockchain technology the user can interact with. This is generally a Web3 big basket of definition, right? Then we can dive into Web3 internet, Web3 gaming, Web3 payments. All of these means with blockchain. And so as we were talking about gaming, as we were talking about sharing economy, we can also evolve that into Web3 economy, which can fit very well into Web3 gaming. So games that adopt or are fully built on blockchain technology. Web3 internet, meaning an internet where you have Web3 domains working, and you can use these domains for payments for Web3 website hosted on blockchain. So Web3 equal with blockchain, if we want to put it real simple. Then we
So
can
the main difference is like,
vertical.
if I were to go on GoDaddy and get John.gaming, what's the difference between going to GoDaddy John.gaming versus the blockchain.gaming, like you mentioned? Like you have to have a wallet. You know, what? Explain that.
Absolutely. So first of all, let's go back to the TLD SLD stuff. In normal internet, TLDs, so .com, .io, .xyz, are limited. And so you cannot create your .gaming or your .whatever, right?
Because there's already established domains like .com, .net.
Yes, exactly. And these cannot be created. Like there is a central authority that allows institution to create them. The last time institutions were allowed to create those TLD was in 2013.
Okay.
And the next
So
one,
I can't create, if I wanted to, I can't create .justin, like Justin right now in the web police sphere or community or board of directors in the World Wide Web, because they already have established. Sorry if I'm kind of like babysitting throughout this call, because I'm learning too. So I'm just jumping right in. So I can't create .justin because it's the last thing was created in 2013, is what you're saying.
Yes, correct.
Okay. And so how is it different with this .gaming that people are doing raffles for? How are we able to use that, and how do we take advantage of that, I guess?
Makes super sense. So you see, there is this trend of Web3. So here we're speaking internet, and then we can relate to gaming to use, right? And so right now, all of the efforts that we are doing and other counterparts with their own specifics are doing is to make Web3 work as Web2. So as you said, Web2 is the normality. And so, as you said, like Twitter wanted their Twitter in 2013, but they were not given the okay, so they don't have. And this was back in 2013. Now you have communities. that would like their sharing economy. So .gaming is a community and it's forming. Then you have Bored Ape, which is a community, and they can have .ape, for example. And having your own dot something allows you to then distribute the names of your community to a specified circle of people, users, whatever. Now, in use cases, Justin, if you have a normal domain, justin.com, right? You can use it for a website, for an email, or if you're a speculator, you buy and you flip because you know somebody else would like justin.com. In Web3, you can instantly, with blockchain technology at the foundation, you can do the same, but you can attach much more on it. You can attach your digital identity.
So wait, so just to confirm, you're saying that if so dot Justin, Justin, Web 2.0, I can create my own website, I can do my own email address, and you're saying that Justin.gaming, I can do the same as Web 2.0. Wow. Okay.
Plus, in Web3, you have a plus next to the same, right? Which is all of the uses that comes building with blockchain. So you have the normal uses, website, emails, and if you want to flip it because you buy and sell, but then you can build on top of your wallet, meaning you can enter a enhanced reality with your domain. For example, you have Justin.game, right? And you can save all of your NFT items of your Web3 gaming inside. You can decide to rent some of those. You can log in different game with your Justin.game and bring with you all of the property that you have saved inside your domain. So it becomes at least your digital identity. It becomes also a wallet. And so you can get paid or transfer NFT if you want to transfer an item to another or rent an item to another. On the renting side, that John mentioned, blockchain is great because it takes away the trust of intermediaries. So if we do a smart contract, I do a smart contract between you, Justin, and John, right? And you want to rent something. This is automatically executable. And so Justin.game rents something to John.gaming. And this goes automatically. So on top of your website, so you can have Justin.gaming with your beautiful landing page, with all of your statistics of the gaming, everywhere you play, so on and so forth. You can use it to passport yourself, and you own it that. Communities can own it to do multiple action, NFT drops, campaigns, or to do tailored match. So it really widens the use case.
So, wow. I mean, so essentially, we're pretty much like in .com boom. Where .com boom, everyone wanted pizza.com, car.com, everyone wanted to grab that. It sounds like the NFT domains are way better than the Web 2.0 domains because Web 2.0 is like very vanilla, generic. And so everyone should want to get the Web 3.0 domains because you can do a lot more stuff with it. So I'm assuming all these big companies, they're going after these Web3 domains. Is that have you been seeing that?
Yes, definitely yes. We are interacting with many Web2 companies. And I tell you why. Now we see internet, beautiful, we are here talking, right? Some parts of the globes here and there, AI, blockchain, all technologies available online. But the online part of my sentence was made 2 generations ago. It can be improved, right? The technology that internet relies upon. And this is why with the .com, that was a huge bubble. And if you want gaming.com, can you imagine that how much it's worth now? A lot. And this was stable for the last 45 years. So now it's really time where you see a technology that you can take and build inside. So yes, all of the big guys of Web2 are getting inside Web3 domains. I was saying Web3 gaming, but also Web3 gaming and Web3 domains, yes.
Question: can the Web3 gods or the can the Web 2.0 gods, like the community that shut down all the domain names in 2013, can they do the same for the Web 3? Can they just say, after 2026, we're not doing any more Web 3 domains?
To be honest, like, it's difficult to stop a technological advancement because it's made by people. Blockchain is a distributed network, right? So it doesn't rely on a central authority that you can go there and say, now you stop. And so it's really difficult to stop this. I don't want to say impossible because you never know in the world, but it's 99.9% difficult. So my fast reply would be no.
I'm learning. I'm very fascinated. So I appreciate you answering me all these questions here. I think they got some questions in the audience too, John, if you want to reference them.
Yep. Tell you what, let's keep to our promise. We're going to do our additional raffle right now. I believe I've caught everybody. We're going to do our next wheel spin. We've got a couple more, folks. So don't forget to throw in we've expanded. You can say Final Fantasy or Zug Zug, whatever you want, one of those two, and then you're eligible. But let's bring up the wheel. You're going to see a lot more names because we got a lot of people getting in on this right here. Let's see who wins. Double Dragon says, no! Our very first commenter. Look at that. Congratulations, Anel. Way to go. And number 4, Ooh, Terrell Harrison. Congratulations. So Anel and Terrell, be on the lookout for messages from Chris on LinkedIn coming your way. And we're just getting started, folks. That's only 4 of the 10 that we're giving away. We're going to be doing a number more here. So you know what? Here comes another one. Actually, Karen, congratulations. That is our 5th, and then we're halfway through our giveaways now. Let's go back over. We've got some really great questions here in chat. Gary, I know you asked some wonderful questions, Saurabh, as well on LinkedIn. These are really great examples of them. So let's go ahead and feature a couple of those. First, Gary says, also to add SLD, it actually looks like you can integrate emojis into the domain. So like Justin, joystick.gaming, which is insane. That is true. I actually myself bought like 3 laughing faces.gaming the other day. And then my name at 3 laughing faces, it dot 3 laughing faces, which is a lot of fun. This is all total speculation, but it's just neat. The things you could do with this are incredible.
That's insane. Emojis in the web domains. That's cool.
Yeah. You can actually do any emojis, any combination of them. Feels like a rat race. Yeah. Or like a kind of a gold rush, right? Web 2.0 is a great example of this. Having a skim through OpenSea, it looks like popular domains are being sat on. That's right. So that brings us actually to a question of squatting, which is something that Davide and I have talked about a number of times. I'll make a super quick comment on this. This is an unregulated space right now, right? And so I can make this comment because I don't work for anybody. I'm out here. I'm just John. I'm independent. But I will say this. This is a completely unregulated space right now. And there is no ICANN, which is the sort of regulating body that we were talking about earlier with Web 2. And so I can't find a single gaming company whose name hasn't been taken as .gaming. If you can, congratulations. I can't find one, even though I probably would have wanted to speculate on it. Is that a trademark name? Yes. What does that mean? We don't know. But it is blockchain. It is completely anonymized. So what anybody does with that is their choice. But again, I tried, and I can't find a single major gaming company that doesn't already have their name.
Well, I mean, Microsoft, Disney is a perfect example. All they need to do is show the courts, hey, they can pretty much yank, their rights over there. But again, you have to be that big company, right? But I think for a lot of indie companies, you definitely get on that, right? Especially if you're trying to capture this space. But it's just so interesting that it's not regulated. So it is kind of a rat race. Someone pointed that out in the comment section. And then not even on top of that. So not only you're dealing with words, but you're dealing with emojis, which blows my mind. So now you can do like, You know, if you wanted to, like a John, you know, like you said, laughing face, you know, and then you're gonna have to compete with that. That's crazy. That's crazy to think about.
Bold new world, brave new world, also bold. Davide, here's a great question for you from James Richardson. And before I read this out, just want to call this out, folks. We're going to do another 3 names for winners in 2 minutes. So please go ahead and comment Zug Zug or Final Fantasy in chat if you would like to be in that drawing. But James says, how will a Web3 passport be able to interact with games or platforms that aren't directly integrated? And how will they be able to share between properties? Will there be an issue with time to complete a transaction over the blockchain when passports, hold on, let's get the rest of it, when passports or wallets get larger? Davide, what do you think about that one?
So there are multiple elements in this question. By the way, can you hear me correctly? Perfect. There are multiple aspects. So one is interoperability. This is a buzzword in Web3, meaning we have different chains, right? Ethereum, Polygon, Binance Smart Chain, and other chains. And so when you create your own identity, and this is why Freename, we choose to be multi-chain, meaning your domain can be transported around chains and not just back to one. You can decide whether one or whether to replace in another chain. However, so this is the first part of the question. Platforms that are not directly integrated, and how will they be able to share between those properties? You know, when you own a domain and you print on this domain your properties, they are saved on the blockchain. So davide.gaming, I mint my davide.game into Polygon chain, and I do have X, Y, Z of properties, whatever. And this will stick. They are saved in blockchain. Blockchain is not mutable, so they will stay with me. And so if I use my Davide.gaming as my passport, let's say with my properties and my traits and my things, and I want to use it in another environment, which is on Ethereum chain or Binance Smart Chain, I can take my domain and mint on another chain while burning on the previous one. So this can be done, and this is one solution. There are also protocols that allows to do this without burning and minting, but now we enter in technicalities. So it's possible because at the end everything is written immutable on the chain. So whatever I put inside my domain, it will stick with me, no matter wherever it is, in which wallet I can transfer between wallets, it still with me. It's a smart contract, it's an NFT, non-fungible token. So it will be that token always.
And that, I think, comes back around to the questions of, you know, this idea of cyber squatting and even trademark names where, you know, the blockchain it's unregulated, and so it's not your, you know, email address that you're not your Gmail or whatever that you're connected to. It is anonymized. So when you're buying and selling it in a place like OpenSea or in other forums, you're not doing so with, you know, I'm Justin Williams and I'm selling this thing. No, you're anonymized, and it also helps with privacy. To really look into Web3, and why I really love what you guys have done over at Freename, Davide, because we're talking about gaming right now, but when you expand this out to the implications for privacy, for a lot of the sort of governmental regulations that around the world can sometimes have implications towards our freedom of speech and other things, it's pretty wild. And the idea of a democratized, I like the word democratized, internet as a whole, not just our domains for our identities, but that also kind of bring it back around to games. You know, I'm so pumped because there's a couple of folks that are partnered with Freename, one of which is called Peach Worlds, and so amped. If you all have a moment, jump over to peachworlds.com and check out their 3D websites. You know, they're creating some stuff over there that works beautifully with Web3, that in the near term, you're going to see a completely different way for your identity and everything that you create to be represented in one place that's not only easily organized and accessible for your audience, but also truly fun and is a differentiator. So more to come on that front. I'm excited to help with announcing some of that as well. But we are 5 minutes away from another 2 names, and then in the last couple of minutes, we're going to blast out the last 3. So throw your Zug-Zugs and your Final Fantasies in chat, y'all, if you want to get featured here and maybe just win something. We're pulling for Ali Farha here. He's been one off twice now, so fingers crossed, y'all. We're hoping for him.
I want to talk about the passport. So, if in case gamers don't know, in other countries like Korea, you have a passport. You have like a social security number in order to play games, believe it or not, to play live games. And it's kind of a mixed reaction. Some people like it because it prevents toxicity. There's a reason why LinkedIn has less toxicity than Twitter. It's because you're branded by your employer. You're branded by your name. So people don't want to really shell out on LinkedIn as much as on Twitter. You're pretty much anonymous, right? And so with like countries like Korea, you have a passport, you have a gamer ID, and if you do any toxicity, if you do harassment or anything like that, you're banned, right? You got that black mark on your record. And so people don't want to do toxicity over, in Korea. Or what the downside is, they have a black market for gaming IDs. So it's sort of like you can buy like a social security number or passport, right? There's a gaming ID black market. But I think it's cool, talking about this kind of stuff where you're developing a passport. And just my mind is like going 0 to 100 learning about this stuff. And it's just like, yeah, can you imagine in a world with no toxicity and you have your passport? I think it's going to be crazy, right? So Epic, or let's just say a big company says, okay, if you want to play our games, you're going to have to get your passport with us. And guess what? That passport is a benefit because you'll get all your items transferred. You can use it in other games. But if you do anything bad and you're on the naughty list, guess what? You're like banned from all of our games because you're tied to our passport. And then you're going to have to go on the black market to get a passport. So I think this is interesting. Of course, this is way too early. So I have no idea how or what that looks like, but just bare bones concept of the passport, like in Korea, I think it's wonderful.
So, I mean, there's so many comments. J-Dubs, what you're saying right now is clearly resonating because you've got comments in here about speech. You've got comments about privacy. Like,
sorry, I do that a lot.
There you go.
John's like, I'm going to invite Justin over for like 2 seconds. And then like, he doesn't realize, I'm going to create all this controversy.
Sparking, you're a fire starter. But you know what, Davide, I want to share one over your way with 3-time almost winner Ali Farha asks, do you think decentralization is the biggest gain of Web3 or being a one-stop shop for all of our game online accounts? Well, that's a great question, isn't it?
We enter a good reply. So, do you think decentralization is the biggest gain of Web3? I mean, Web3 is built on decentralization. So yes, that's a principle, and that's also an end game. In terms of user, in terms of economies, in terms of regulations. When you decentralize something, you don't accept a centralization. Or as we spoke now, there is a authority checking the password, right? Or there is an authority issuing TLDs in Web2, but we are speaking about decentralization. User content generated, user actions, and blockchain is built upon decentralization principle and technology. So it is a gain, and it is a principle on which blockchain and Web3 is built upon. And a one-stop shop for all your game online account also, because at the end, you use a Web3 domain for your own or one or many, as you wish, for your own digital identity, which can be also built around gaming identity. And so, yes to the both. And because you have decentralization, you can have this technological and principal freedom of having your own Web3 domain with your gaming properties saved or other properties saved. So yes to both angle of the question.
That's Ollie, a phenomenal question, right? Like what a wonderful way to look at this, because I think it comes back around to it's almost whatever you want it to be, right? Like I anticipate. I'm so pumped to have, and again, thank you, free name for John.gaming, which I'm super excited to play with, to learn with, to build my sort of creator identity around, if I can be so bold as to use those words with my own identity. But I get to shape that and I get to connect it however I want. And I can rent items or make that my central wallet. Or if I want to sell my services online or whatever that looks like, it all centralizes into one clean place, including functionalities we haven't even dreamed of yet, right? Like item rentals is such a mundane, it seems incredible, but it's such a mundane front basic application for this technology. I'm rambling. I made a promise we're going to give away 2 more at the 50 mark, and we are there now. Do we have any other? Yep, we got a couple of Zugzugs, and let's give away 2 more names, shall we? Good money. Oh, Efrain. Yeah. Oh, right. You were like 1 pixel inside, Efrain. Congratulations. Woo! That was a close one. And number 2. All right. Dmitry Mashlakevich. Congratulations. You are the winner of number 2. Hopefully Dmitry.gaming is available and now yours. Very, very cool. And we're going to do our last 3 at the 58-minute mark. So in 6 minutes, we're going to blast out our last 3.
All right, sounds good. The last 3, everyone. Well, this is a good segue. I just want to say, thank you again for this, because at first I didn't realize how cool and powerful this will be. And now I'm just, after just talking about it and just being a devil's advocate on this, I think it's just so cool. It's like your business card, right? And I don't think people realize that if you can get John.gaming, Justin.gaming, Dimitri.gaming, Ali.gaming, that is, especially as a gamer, that just means it's just so cool to me, and being able to use it in different ways. And so I just want to say thank you. I mean, you guys don't realize this will probably, like John said, it'll probably just blow up like a .com boom here in the next 10 years, and that John.gaming might be worth 150,000 because you have like a studio head like, hey, I want that John.gaming. John, give me that domain, man. What do you want for that? And John's gonna be like, no, you can rent it from me. You can
borrow it on the
platform. You can borrow it. But renting, right? Renting. So CSGO. Again,
yes,
I'm gonna drop some bombs. CS:GO. I'm talking about $1 million games. You're talking about $1 million skins. These skins are $1 million. These skins is $20,000 knife that looks like a plastic weapon in a Dollar Tree store, and people are like, "Why are you paying $20,000 for that skin?" And it looks like it's not cool. It doesn't glow. Doesn't sparkle. It's just value is in the eye of the beholder, right? And that is essentially crypto. That is essentially gold. That is essentially currency 101. You put a value to it, and you're gonna claim a value. It's like, okay, that piece of paper is worth $10, and so in the whole world's eye, that piece of paper is worth $10. It's the same thing with the .gaming. Right now, it may not have value, but down the road, when everybody wants one of these suckers, and then you want to, and you're like being a king marketer like John, and he has all this stuff going out of his domain here, that value is going to skyrocket. And again, I'm unbiased, just like John said. I'm thank you again for Justin.gaming. That's such a cool name. I can't wait to use it. So I think everyone on this call who's getting that free domain is just congrats. It's cool.
And that actually, Justin, brings us to exactly that fun announcement right there. Gary aptly points out, just in case you find Justin.gaming is already taken, it is because Thank you to our friends at Freename. We are, in fact, that is a gift directly from Davide and team at Freename to you. So Justin.gaming, you see it live here, folks. Justin.gaming is born here on this call right now, in this moment. Davide, I know we've only got a few minutes left here. Did you want to make any comments on, a big question oftentimes is, how does the wallet work? That's, I think, an obstacle a lot of people perceive to participating in all of this stuff. Any comments on that you'd like to make?
Yes, look, I wanted to relate to Justin's observation. It is, in my opinion, very important that we start using Web3. And it's not such a huge barrier as it was coding 10 years ago, that you need to study, and then apply and stuff. It's easy. There are platforms such as Freename that allows you to interact with a very nice, clean, user-focused platform. So you can enter your Freename when you receive your gaming domain to the one that just wants a gaming domain, or to everyone that wants to use, just yourself too, right? You just enter Freename. You go into user profile and domain settings, and there you find everything. You can build a website, you can set your own email, you can use it for your wallet and set any wallet, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Polygon, every chain. So you will see that it's easy. It's much easier to use Web3 domains rather than for me to explain. Even I'm long in blockchain. It's really easy. So I encourage everyone to try, because it's a reality that is coming, and it's disrupting because it's built over decentralization. Justin.gaming, it is now minted on blockchain. Nobody can take that away. No regulators, no one. So guys, try. It's easy.
I think our friend Ali frames it about as elegantly as I think anybody's going to today, which is my understanding from the discussion. Web3 is centralizing your identity on a decentralized network. Ali, you should work in production, buddy.
I will use this.
Right? Yeah, like hopefully you can mint that one, because someone's about to straight steal that. Gary points out, who is apparently our domain sniper. .John, however, is apparently taken. Womp womp. Too bad. That would have been a lot. Okay, we're at 57, but we do have 3 to give away, so I want to do this and then make time for sort of closing comments here. Last call, folks. Gonna wait 10 more seconds. Throw in your Zug, throw in your Final Fantasy. Otherwise, we have our final 3 winners somewhere here on screen. And that is the 5-second mark. Last call, folks. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. It doesn't really apply here, but I really like that lyric. All right, let's do it. Jake Newsing. Congratulations, Jake. You're one of our final 3. Our Final Fantasy of 3. And here we go. Another just right on the line. Joe Rel Wilkins. Congratulations. Down to our last one. Is anybody else here just really hoping for Ali? Is anybody? Dogs are all even here.
There's a lot of J names that's been winning. Let's get an A.
You know what? Yeah, maybe there's some nepotism there. We'll see. Hold on. Rudy Rutenberg, probably the coolest name I've seen.
That is a cool name.
Rudy Rutenberg, you are Rudy.gaming now and forever.
Rudy.gaming. I like the sound of that. It sounds like an indie band.
You know what? It does. And you know what, Ali? You're an audience right now. Here's the deal. I really appreciate everything that you've done. I would love to talk to you on the next one of these calls, because you are a similar visionary to Justin here, very, very similar to the conversations we've had. Remind me a lot of ones that I've had with Davide. So let's jump on one of these in the near future. But that's it, folks. Parting comments. Justin, final thoughts, and then Davide will give you the last word.
Yeah, final thoughts. This has been a very informative and educational. My mind just went from just a low concept of, okay, Justin.gaming, where it's just domain focused, to all these cool different things, and being able to get a hold of something like this, and how that can mean in the future, especially for gaming, for gamers like myself. I think it's been a very cool experience. So thank you, John, for hosting this. Thank you, Davide, for showing us what it can look like, with these type of domains. So I just want to say, and thank you, congrats to everyone who won as well. I can't wait to see your Web3 in the future and what you can do with it.
Thank you very much, Justin, for being with us and asking those questions. I think I give it for granted sometimes, and who is in the sector give it for granted. But it's very important, since it's easy to play with Web3, to have this kind of session, to see what are the possibilities, what are the use cases, and always at your availability. John, thanks for organizing this. It's been really fun. And please contact Chris. To everyone that won a domain, contact Chris on LinkedIn. You will get your domain set up in less than 3 minutes.
Thing of beauty. One parting thought for me, I've had, I think, 3 now messages about my shirt. So I just want to put up the link to where I bought it. Zug Zug right there. QR code. It's on Etsy. It's a brand new shop. I think I was the second person to ever buy this shirt. So there you go. Now that's on here forever and ever. Thank you both for a really great conversation. Thank you, everybody in the audience. I hope that you had fun as we got a little silly, got real nerdy, went deep on Web3. And if you'd like to see this, a similar version to this, anything like it, please, your feedback is the inspiration for all this stuff. That's why we did this today. So thank you so much, and game on. See you next time.
Bye, everyone.